Hey, Mario Rodriguez here, and you're watching Mark's Out Wrestling Aftershock Reviews, where it's still real to me. And what can I say? Right off the bat, AEW, Double or Nothing, was super amazing. It just blew my socks off. It was like, I just couldn't stop smiling during the whole show. It was like that good, that entertaining, and like even though I admit, tons of people I never seen before, tons of people I never recognized, a few familiar faces here and there and stuff like that, but like, even though I didn't know anyone, like, it was so amazing. All these crazy moves, all the crazy non-stop action I see in the indies and Ring of Honor and stuff like that, like, they brought that shit here, and that was awesome. So, yeah, there were a couple snacks in the beginning. The Bleacher Report website, at least for my old computer, it's probably not updated or whatever, doesn't work that well in Google Chrome, had to use Firefox. Like, I couldn't even buy the stupid thing. Like, there were times where the little tab where you would click to buy it on the page, whatever, would not be, like, it would not be there. And I was like, what the hell is this? It was like a limited time offer or some shit? Like, what the hell, you know? And I had to keep refreshing the page until the thing would come back. So I was like, oh, great, I can't even, like, buy this thing without, like, a challenge and stuff. And, the Bleacher Report does not work on the PS4 browser. The Fight app does, though, but it was not on the Fight app, like, unless you were, like, in some other country that's not the USA. And, so I had to pay $50 to watch it on my computer on the Bleacher Report. The good thing is that once the video actually started on, you put a full screen for the computer, it was, like, good. It was good. It loaded, like, the whole time without, like, skipping or freezing. Like, it aired live. There were no mistakes. Like, sometimes even the network would freeze up, but this, like, was flawless. Like, I was watching, like, TV on my computer, so that was kind of good. But, yeah, despite all of that stuff, once the event actually started, it was super awesome. The YouTube stream was like 20 minutes or so behind. I had to go back and watch it. I was very confused. Now, a lot of times, whenever there's like these live Twitch streams and YouTube streams, it is normal that the stream kind of starts kind of late, that, like the timer goes down. I remember there was the Twitch Rise tournament, the Rise Women's Wrestling. I think it was Rise of the Knockouts, first one I ever saw. It also started kind of late, and we missed like the first match because it was like so late. And so when it was like a couple of minutes, I wasn't really too concerned, but when it started getting like, it was, 7:10, 7:15, nothing was going on. I kept refreshing the page, I kept closing down YouTube, reopening it, like nothing was going on. And I got a couple of friends. Jack Knives was actually there in person at the MGM Grand, Las Vegas, Nevada, where the event was taking place, and he was already texting me like, yo, dude, it already started, it's so awesome. I'm like, what the fuck, what do you mean it already started? So it's like, yeah. So I had to go back and watch it. Now, after the fact, when you go to the YouTube page, like, you do see the full show. It's not like parts missing, so whatever. So anyways, on to the actual event. The first thing we had was the buy-in, which is kind of the kickoff show, like the free pre-show. It was free on YouTube. It was free on TNT. Now, I didn't know about TNT YouTube channel having it. Had I known, I would have probably checked it out because maybe that one was working. I don't know. Like, were you guys watching the TNT one? You tell me if it's working or not. But it was supposed to be free on the TNT YouTube channel, the AEW YouTube channel. Not 100% sure. People were saying that it was on TNT, like TV, like actual TV. I don't know. I missed that. And I guess the Fight app. But again, if you're like in some other country that's not the United States. But so the first match was the Battle Casino Royale. And basically it kind of did like a poker game. You're playing game, I guess it's poker, it's the most popular card game. I don't know like all the rules. But basically the wrestlers were shuffling decks off screen. And they would come in groups of 5. And they would represent, like 5 for the spades, for the clubs, for the diamonds, for the hearts, whatever. And then the final person would get the Joker card. It'd be like a mysterious, like wild card and stuff like that. So during the event there was all kinds of crazy shit. Of course, WCW's Glacier was there, and he had a couple of, times there. We had Jungle Boy, who's the son of Luke Perry, which I didn't even know that Luke Perry had a son that was like a wrestler. And we also had Tommy Dreamer, he's a classic. We also had, oh god, I forgot his name. It's Ty Dillinger from WWE, another person that left WWE because he wasn't really used right. But I forgot what his name is here. It's his ring name. And it was his name from, from before he ever joined WWE. But yeah, he was there. And we also had, this real big dude named AC Romero. Holy shit, you know? And like all these wrestlers, all these guys here and there. And we also got this cool heel, MJF, who kind of acts like EC3, super full of himself, super cocky, and it was pretty awesome. So there were all kinds of crazy things, all kinds of crazy shenanigans. They even had a wrestler guy that had no legs. He was an amputee, so he wasn't even there. And of course, like the most heelish thing to really kick off how much of a heel he is was that the first thing MJF did was like stomping him. Like he chose the guy who can't defend himself too much to start stomping him and stuff like that. And yeah, it was a pretty good match. Some of the crazy things I remember, first of all, like, holy shit. There was a moment where Jungle Boy was gonna jump, I guess, to attack someone else. But fucking Ace Romero, he's basically built like a sumo, like that's, you know, he fucking just ran like a fucking freight train, picked him up while he was still in midair, and just threw his fucking ass out the ring. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, like, that was amazing. That was amazing. Like, holy crap. That one for me, that was the spot up the whole thing. That's the one that really made me, you know, like, you know, whatever, like, react. We also got Joey Janela, the bad boy there, which is kind of cool, because I finally got to see him in action for a bit, because I had, you know, a shirt of him from Pro Wrestling Tees without knowing who he was. And he has the super hot Penelope Ford as his valet. And yeah, there was a moment where someone grabbed him and just slammed his ass to a table outside, and she was like just screaming like her head off or whatever. And also there was oh yeah, two funny things. One funny thing, it was like so random. Well, first of all, like the Joker, the mysterious Joker card was of course Hangman Page. And yeah, that was super awesome. It was kind of sort of predictable because people were wondering after what happened with Hangman and Pac, which I got a previous video, you know, I'm not going to waste more time explaining that. There's a whole video about it that I talked about. But people were saying that if Pac is gone, does that mean that Hangman is just out of the pay-per-view or whatever? So yeah, he made us a Joker card. It makes me very curious who was originally going to be the Joker card. And it also, well, I'll tell you in a bit. But anyway, so he came in, he started fighting against MJF and stuff like that. MJF would mostly beat up like all the people and taunt them all. Like when Glazier was there, he was like taunting like the Mortal Kombat type moves and making fun of his like, you know, martial arts. But Glazier got to kick him around some. And Glazier threw out some guy, but then he got thrown out by MJF anyway. And I also love Luchasaurus, this big tall dude. He's kind of, I don't know, he's like a tall, lanky dude, but he moves pretty fast for a big guy. He's not like slow, and he's got like the whole like dinosaur mask with the green paint and green teeth, and it's just, he plays the role so well. He almost reminds me of King of the Dinosaurs from King of Fighters. Like if King of the Dinosaurs was a real character, but of course a lot slimmer, that's basically Luchasaurus right there. He's awesome. So anyways, the two spots I want to mention was, first of all, like this guy, Orange Cassidy, just came in, this super cool, super laid-back, casual dude, hand in his pockets and whatever, and he goes up against Tommy Dreamer, and Tommy Dreamer's just looking at him, and the dude gives him like this, you know, over-exaggerated weak kick, and then he starts giving a whole bunch of weak kicks, which is supposed to kind of represent, you know, like when Daniel Bryan does like just kick the hell out of you. So like he's giving these like fake kicks. And everyone in the crowd is like yes, like chanting like the hell out of it. And the commentary's like, oh my god, look at that, oh my god, look at he can't even block them. Oh my god, like Tommy Dreamer can't do anything, whatever. And then he do like the whole build up, the whole thing, and he just hits him with another weak little kick and everything. And people are like, oh my god, Tommy Dreamer's gonna have to go home in crutches after this. And like they're playing it up. It was just so funny. It was just so cheesy. And then Tommy Dreamer had enough and socked his ass down, but like Orange Cassidy didn't even move. He fell down with his hands still in his pockets, and he just flipped himself right back up to his feet with his hands still in his pockets. And then Tommy Dreamer threw him out. And even out there, he was just sitting there, just chilling, like he didn't even care about the event. And that's kind of funny. That was like a weird gimmick. I wonder if he was going to be in the main roster. Another moment was that Jamie Havoc, he actually had he had a staple gun. And he stapled Tommy Dreamer in the head, and he stapled him in, like, you know, in the balls or whatever, and then threw him out while he was in pain. I'm like, holy fucking shit, you know? And Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus teamed up to get rid of him and, you know, kick the staple gun out of play. But holy shit, a staple gun, man. And, yeah, there was a time where Hangman Page was, like, on the turnbuckle, and he was, you know, dazed or whatever. And like, so random, but Jimmy Havoc ran up to him, whatever, and just randomly yelled out, Shoryuken! And then he actually did it, and smacked him, and I was like, what the fucking hell? I was like, did that just happen, you know? So anyways, in the end, the last two guys, you know, were Hangman Page and Luchasaurus. And Hangman Page managed to trip the Luchasaurus out of the ring. But then it was like, oh no, remember, MJF hasn't been eliminated yet. So he tries to attack Hangman Page. He also gets thrown out. And Hangman Page will be the winner. And this whole match, I forgot to explain earlier, I apologize. The whole match, the deal was that whoever wins this match is going to face whoever wins Jericho versus Omega later on in a later event for the AEW Championship. Now, of course, it does make you very curious as who's the original wild card, the Joker was supposed to be if the Hangman Page stuff didn't happen with Pac and whatever. I kind of want to say that Ty Dillinger would have probably been the wild card, maybe. He got a big pop. When he came out, people were like, holy shit, because they recognized him from WWE or whatever. But, yeah, it's kind of curious. I wonder who the Joker would have been. And also, like, I wonder who would have won. Like, maybe he would have won, but, like, would Ty Dillinger be considered a guy, like, badass enough to go against Omega or Jericho for the title? I don't know. And another thing also is, technically speaking, some other wrestler out there, obviously a lesser-known guy, some other wrestler was replaced by Hangman Page. I'm kind of curious, who was the guy that was supposed to be the Joker, the winner, and who was flat out replaced? Because even if Ty Dillinger was the Joker, that means that someone else had to have been in his place as part of the other cards in the deck or whatever. So, yeah, I'm kind of curious. Now, I'll tell you about this stuff later, so I don't spoil the end. Of course, it is a couple of days after the fact. You guys already probably know the spoilers, but I'll tell you about that in a second. So, real quick here. Alright, so the next match, the next singles match, still part of the buy-in, was Kip Sabian versus Sammy Guevara. And they actually met up at the conference. It was a free conference. They met up and they talked a bit, and Sammy kicked him in the balls to like further cement his heel status. So we already knew he was a heel. So the match started, and yeah, like Sammy's such a fucking natural heel. He just doesn't care. He walks around that whole kind of looking down, and it's like a mixture between looking down on his opponent and also like not really caring to be there or something. He just likes to show off and whatever. In the beginning, it was kind of cool because they were doing some moves, and then Sammy just got out of this like lock move to show off that yeah, it's that easy. I can get out of your move that easy. You ain't worth nothing and whatever. But then Kip also like slipped out of his move, also showing off that yeah, I can do that too. What, you know? And yeah, they were fighting it out. Lots of cool spots. They're both very gifted athletes. I was mostly entertained by just how much of a heel, just that over arrogance that Sammy was portraying. And yeah, there was a cool spot outside the ring where they actually had to crowd like the guys in the front row seats to kind of move out of the way, because like Sammy actually had Kip like laying down in the front row seat, you know, so he had to get out of there. And then he would jump off the rope. I think he did like a shooting star press or something on him, or a senton, something like that. But it was like amazing, and it was like holy shit. That reminds me of like the Indies, where it's like real like fan interaction, you know. So that was kind of awesome. And yeah, in the end, Kip grabbed him in what they call the Deathly Hollows, this cool kind of like fall away slam type move, and it was super awesome. And he won in the end. But damn, that was a good show. That was a pretty good show between the two of them. I hope I see them more in the actual event too, because that's pretty cool. They were pretty cool dudes there. And yeah, pretty good show. They got everyone warmed up, and of course it's kind of like, if you like the action, buy it now, don't delay, whatever, you know. So on to the event proper. Now we've got the actual Double or Nothing, MGA Grand, Las Vegas, Nevada, live, all that good stuff. And let's see here. So the first match, and I do want to apologize in the beginning, I'm going to be very bad at describing the tag team matches because they are basically what people call spot fest. It's super crazy, it's insane stuff, and they kind of sort of blend together. I kind of forget who is who and who did what to who to the whatsits, but it's amazing. It was basically SCU, so-called uncensored, versus the Strong Hearts. The Strong Hearts are from another wrestling federation. I think they said it was like from OWA or something like that. And yeah, 3-on-3 tag match. It was super amazing. All kinds of moves all over the place. I think this was the match, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was the match where one of them threw the other like outside, and they almost like crashed into like some of the commentary. So that was pretty amazing. And I think this was the match, not 100% sure, because again, so many, they kind of blend together, where they actually grabbed the guy in the crucifix, and ran towards the ring and fucking threw him against the turnbuckle like a crucifix bomb. And I was like, oh shit, that was like, damn. And then I think the SCU, one of the SCU guys actually had this one guy pinned in a weird position or whatever, while he was still grabbing and slamming the other guy. So he was like taking down both people at the same time. So it was pretty crazy. And of course the Strong Hearts are also like pretty crazy with all their moves and everything. So it was a pretty evenly like match event. It was like pretty good. Both teams had amazing moves. It was just super fast. Again, it's kind of hard to describe. Like, now these matches, I do want to say, it's not like they're bad because they're not memorable. It's just you have to live the moment. You have to actually watch the matches and be blown away. But it's just so much shit that happens that's kind of hard to like remember everything, you know, hours later or whatever. But yeah, in the end, SCU scored the win. I think they did a move where one of them grabbed one of the Strong Hearts and the other one like jumped and just like stomped them at the same time. It's like one hell of a like combination maneuver. It's kind of like he stomped them at the same time the guy like slams them down. I guess to give like extra emphasis. But yeah, SCU won. Pretty impressive. A great way to start the show. Get everyone like excited because yeah, that's some real wrestling right there, yo. And just the cardio on those guys, like holy shit, how did they get tired? These are like long matches too. So then we had the women's match here. We had Dr. Britt Baker and Kylie Ray and Nyla Rose, and just, you know, cool women's match, a triple threat match. But then all of a sudden, Brandy Rhodes comes out, and it was kind of confusing because at first she was dressed up in kind of like wrestling attire, so we didn't know if she was actually going to compete, like actually be in the ring. So I was like, holy shit. But then she said like she doesn't want the match just to be great or whatever. She wants it to be awesome. So she gets Awesome Kong to come out. And I was like, holy shit, Awesome Kong, what the fuck? Like, everyone popped for that one. I was like, holy crap. So, yeah, now it's Fatal 4-Way. And I like Kylie. Kylie is so happy. She's so cheery. And, like, whenever Brandy appears, she was like, hey, you know. And then, like Awesome Kong in there, and she's still happy. And even the commentary is like, wow, I don't really know what Kylie's, like, smiling about, you know, with Awesome Kong. And I like it that once she actually got into the ring and the match was about to start, that's when Kylie like stopped smiling because it was kind of like, oh, now the realization hits that, oh shit, I have to actually wrestle this woman, don't I? You know. So yeah, like Baker and Kylie tried to attack Nyla Rose, but Nyla Rose just shrugged them off, and it was like a face-off between Nyla and Awesome Kong. They were like both the bigger women in the ring, and they had their little face-off. They fought each other. They were taken out of the match a couple of times, which is kind of a smart move. Had the two smaller women keep the bigger ones out of the ring to have a better chance of winning the match, because there's no way they can win against the larger women and stuff. Yeah, so we were kind of complaining a bit that Awesome Kong wasn't in the match too long. But I have to remember that this is still like a good 10 or so years after like the last time I saw her in WWE. I don't know how well she moves anymore. I know she's in other indie promotions, but I don't know how well she could move at her age. I don't even know how old she is now, but obviously 10 years older than the last time I saw her, right? But so it does kind of explain a bit why every time she tried to get in, someone would just like kick her back out and stuff like that. So, of course, the biggest spot was that Nyla Rose was in a turnbuckle, and Kylie and Britt Baker both teamed up to try to kind of grab her and suplex her off the rope. But then Awesome Kong came and grabbed the other two women, so she basically, like, back suplexed all three of them, and that was like, holy shit, you know? And, near the end, they kicked out Awesome Kong again. She was fighting against Baker on the apron. She was trying to do the, like a power bomb and shit on the apron. Holy crap, that would have been so fucked up if that happened. But Britt Baker kicked her, and then Nyla basically tackled her ass into the steel steps, but they took each other out and everything. So in the end, it was like Baker and Kylie tried to do some finisher moves, like this weird like suplex type pin, but she still tapped out. You know, she got out of it, I should say, not tapped out. And holy fucking crap. Britt Baker super kicked Kylie Ray's face so hard, her fucking ribbon just flew off. I don't know how you planned that or whatever, because I didn't see her, like, doing anything with her, but it just happened. Just super kicked her so hard, the fucking ribbon just flew off her head and shit. and then she grabbed her in some kind of weird, kind of move that just like fucking spiked her on the floor. Just spiked Kylie Ray's head on the floor and everything, and that was the pin. 1, 2, 3, and Britt Baker won. And I was actually kind of surprised because the thing is, there was a lot of build-up for Kylie Ray. In the press conference, she appeared, and they, celebrated her or whatever, and then, like, she had a small segment in the pre-show. So there was a lot of talk about her. A lot of effort was made to like introduce her to the audience and whatever. But in the end, she lost. Like Britt Baker took the win, and I was kind of surprised. I really thought it was gonna be like Kylie Ray's match. But we'll see what happens. And yes, Kylie Ray no longer has a Pikachu shirt on, and she does not have the Pikachu theme playing anymore, the Pokemon theme. Yeah, in the conference, she had the Pokemon theme, and I was like, oh, they're still gonna do that. But then at the actual event, she had like, some brand new theme. So yeah, I figured they were gonna do something different. They had to get past all the copyright. But I was still very surprised that she still had the Pokemon theme during the conference. But anyways, awesome, incredible match, and then we had the Best Friends versus Angelico and Jack Evans. And I can say Angelico and Jack Evans were dressed up almost like in skater gear, like neon green skater gear. It's kind of interesting. The Best Friends, I actually have like a bottle opener of them. That's kind of interesting side fact. And yeah, I botched it so horribly. I didn't know who the hell they were when I got that. And I kept confusing them with the Young Bucks. So I apologize. Cringe, cringe, cringe. But yeah, what can I say? Another spot fest. All kinds of crazy moves, crazy speed. I think they were trying to do a submission move and stuff. I think there was a time where one of them slammed down Angelico and tried to grab him into kind of like a sharpshooter, but he still got out of it. That was kind of cool. A lot of high-flying moves, just crazy shit all around. And what can I say? A great match, even though I don't remember any specific moments or spots. Now, the thing I do remember, of course, is that in the end, the Best Friends wanted to, they hug it out and whatever, and they wanted to invite, like, Angelico and Evans to hug them too. And I don't know if they're supposed to be the heels or not or whatever. They didn't really give any heelish vibes, to be honest, but they were still kind of like, oh, dude, nah, we're not going to hug you, man. Come on. No, man. I'll just, like, shake your hand, whatever. But, yeah, in the end, it's like, whatever, who cares? Bring it in. So they're all going to hug each other. And then all of a sudden, the lights go dark. And honestly speaking, me being new, I actually thought the Bleacher Report app was fucking up. But then I saw lights, and I heard the people themselves were reacting like, oh, what's going on? Lights are going on. Well, it's their first show. This stuff happens, whatever. Legendary JR was doing commentary too. And the lights came on, and these two guys I'd never seen before, I was mostly noticeable, that guy with the cool football helmet. I'm like, the fuck are these guys? And then the lights go back out, they come back on, and they got like a whole squad of these random guys all wearing like I guess like the luchador, almost like the what do you call it, almost like the Lucha Underground type mask, like the black mask, all the same. And they just jump everyone. They all attack the fuck out of everyone. They attack the Best Friends. They attack Angelico and Evans. The skinnier guy of the two picks up one of them and slams them down. The other guy slams them down. Like, they're all taken out. And then all the guys, the extra goons, gather around and kind of form like a throne for the bigger guy, and they're like posing and stuff. And then of course the lights go back out and they're gone. Now, as far as I know, these guys are called the Super Smash Brothers. Okay, the Super Smash Brothers in Ring of Honor. Now, I saw in the chats and commentary that the people call them that, but I didn't know it was a joke or not, because, Super Smash Brothers. But yeah, that's their name in Ring of Honor. But the thing is, they may have a new name. When they appear, the commentary where it's like, whoa, I know who those guys are. Oh my god, I dare not say the name, blah, 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 blah. So that means that, at least what I think, is that they're going to have some kind of different ring name whenever they reappear in an actual match or something. They'll have like a different name. It won't be like Super Smash Brothers. So who knows? Maybe they will be. But for me, it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, it's like the video game. When I first heard that, I thought people were joking or making comments or memes or whatever. I didn't know that was their actual name in the indies. But time will tell, like, what their new ring name is going to be and everything. So that's kind of cool. So then we had Asha Kong, Yuka Sakazaki, and Emi Sakura versus Hikaru Shida, Riho Abe and Ryo Mizunami. It was a 6-women tag team match. They're all Japanese women, and some of them had like titles. So I guess there were titles from their respective organizations. The big thing was that Emmy apparently has trained wrestlers for years, and she has trained at least, I believe, at least 2 of the wrestlers from the other team. I don't know if she trained Rio or not. I don't know if it was like all 3 of them or not, but she did train the people on the opposing team, and it was kind of like, can the pupil surpass the master? That kind of mindset. And that one had a bit more spots that were memorable. Yuka Sakazaki was like an overly, she was like an anime girl. I mean, she looked like she was dressed up like Yuna or someone from Final Fantasy or something with the things. At the beginning of the match, she acted extremely cutesy. She kicked the opponent on the shin or whatever, and then ran off doing like a cartoony giggly thing. I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? And honestly speaking, she was kind of sort of like the weak link of the other team. Like Emmy and Aja were like powerhouses and stuff, but like I felt that Yuka was like kind of like the weak link there. She would mostly be taken out pretty quickly because she was so busy doing cutesy stuff. And yeah, just Aja Kong, oh my gosh, she gave like this stiff kick to the back of one of the other ones of the opponents. I think it was Riho. Like, holy shit. And then like she jumps off the rope and hits you with a fucking elbow drop. But just how large she is, like you do not want her fucking elbow dropping you off the ropes. Like, holy shit. And so later on in the match, like Emmy brought in like this steel garbage can or whatever, and like the referee was distracted, and it was weird. They really distracted her good. She was like arguing with them and whatever, and Emmy, well, I think Emmy had the garbage can, and let me see who's the let me try to get the names here. I think it was Riho. Riho grabbed like the kendo stick. Is when the whole event started. He had a little kendo stick as part of the intro. So we got a kendo stick. So it was like kendo stick versus the little trash can bucket thing. It wasn't a full trash can. It was like a little bucket. And yeah, bucket versus kendo stick. And it's kind of funny because how do you not hear the kendo stick like bashing the bucket a couple of times? Like, how does the referee not hear that? You know, she's still arguing with them and everything. But and then like I think they kicked the kendo stick away, but the part that just made me kind of laugh, like it was just, I don't know, whatever, is Emmy fucking bounced the bucket off like Riho's head. Like literally threw it, and the fucking thing just boing and off the ring. And I just laughed because that was like holy I never seen that before. Like, yeah, they could bash it, but not all out like bash it so hard that fucking bounces off your head and it just flies off into wherever it would happen to land. That made me laugh. So, another thing is that I noticed that the women, every time they were trying to pin someone, the other women will try to hold back the others to kind of keep them out of it, to not break the pin. That's kind of clever. Like, a lot of people should kind of learn from that to avoid, you know, broken pinfalls. In the end, I think it was Riho, because the names, I'm sorry. But I think Riho hit Emmy with a Shining Wizard right in the face, knocked her down, 1, 2, 3. And of course, the big moment where the pupils has finally surpassed the master, and that was pretty awesome. That was a pretty intense match. It was just crazy, man. It was pretty crazy. Now, some people felt it was kind of like filler or whatever, but I liked it. It was entertaining. A lot of memorable spots there. A lot of cool moves. And, yeah, it was a weird move where Emmy started chanting the We Will Rock You song, had everyone singing it, and she would, like, run, so it's like, we will rock you, like, running at you, like, elbow first. That was kind of random and entertaining, you know? So, then we had the big one, Cody versus Dustin. Cody wants to end the Attitude Era. Like, if he defeats Dustin, it'll end the Attitude Era and stuff like that. And it also might be one last ride for Dustin, the last match. And, what can I say? The hell of a match. Cody starts out coming in, you know, looking all classy and all that junk with his suit and everything. And I didn't even notice, it was like random. Brandy handed him over a sledgehammer. And at first I was kind of like, a sledgehammer, a little on the nose there. But then, like, he turns around, like the camera pans over there, whatever. And he got like a Triple H style throne. And I'm like, oh, come on, dude. And Cody fucking demolishes that thing with the mallet, the sledgehammer. And I'm like, you know, like using the Triple H sledgehammer to destroy the Triple H throne. And I'm like, holy shit. So we're not going to take shots at WWE, huh? Yeah, we are. Oh my god. That was crazy. Alright, so once the match actually started, it was like super intense. Cody, of course, pretty bitter ex-employee of WWE. We all know that he got tired of the Stardust gimmick and wanted to leave, but Vince wouldn't let him, like, you know, stop the gimmick and just move on to something else. He wanted him stuck at Stardust for whatever reason, always losing, always being a joke. So here, near the beginning of the match, like, Cody, like, attacks Dustin or whatever, takes him down. Then he does, like, a little flip, and he does the Stardust thing, and, like, his voice is like, I still remember. Like, he's angry. He still remembers that. But, Goldust attacks him, well, Dustin, I should say. Dustin attacks him, gets him on the ropes, and he does the same move, like, right back at him. And everything. That was kind of cool. A little bit of, you know, symbolism, because, you know, who's not, like, angry at their previous employment or whatever, right? It's kind of, like, relatable, I guess. Like, people say shots at WWE, I kind of see it like employee mad at previous job. Like anyone that works at GameStop or whatever would probably have that same mindset, right? So anyways, yeah, pretty good match. Randy Rose would be there. She would interfere. She would first throw like a bottle of water or something, bottle of water at Dustin's face to get him distracted and everything. And even Cody was kind of surprised that she was interfering. She did a super kick right to the face of Dustin as well. And yeah, so the referee caught it, and the referee sent her ass out of there, and she wasn't leaving. And then, like, another big surprise, Diamond Dallas Page, Mr. Self High Five, comes out and grabs her and just carries her away to make it like a fair fight. So that was kind of interesting. Apparently he's a good friend to the Rhodes. So yeah, the fight continues. There was a moment where the steel, like the turnbuckle, like they took off the padding or whatever, so it's like exposed, and Dustin dashes into it, but he got gashed. So yeah, because he dashes, and you know, Cody got out of the way, so he hit his head, and that's when he got gashed. And from there on, it just became a bloodbath. Like, yeah, there was blood spilling out and everything, and it was kind of hard to tell because like Dustin already had like half his face with red makeup anyways, but it was kind of spilling out. They were doing the thing that, you know, he's injured, he's worn out. I mean, he's up there in age, and he's blinded by the blood. So there's times where he did like a couple of wild swings, hitting nothing because he can't see. But like as the match went on, and of course Cody kept kicking him and punching him in the face and whatever. Like Goldust, and like there was a moment where Goldust grabbed Cody in like the sharpshooter or whatever, and like no, it wasn't the sharpshooter. It was like the figure four leg lock. And his entire face was red of just blood dripping. His whole face was red with blood dripping. Because, yeah, I remember now, Cody was doing the figure four leg lock, but Dustin managed to turn around to, like, reverse it. And he's like, you know, hold it, like, zooming in his face. And it's just all red. And every time he was on the floor, like on the mat or whatever, and they would like zoom in, you would just see it just leaking out. Like, brother, you leaking, you know? Like, oh, damn. And the match would continue. You know, they wouldn't stop it. It would just keep going and everything. And, yeah, it was pretty intense. Goldust actually hit him with the crossroads. I thought that was it, because that was pretty cool. But in the end, Cody still managed to do his own crossroads a couple of times. Finally took out Dustin. Finally won the match. And it was a hell of a well-earned match there. At first I thought, well, of course Cody's gonna win, whatever. But in the end, it was worth it because the special thing at the end happened that I believe only would have happened if Cody had won. So Cody actually is gonna leave. Then he turns around and comes back, and Dustin's like, holy shit, because he's gonna keep attacking him because Cody, you know, Dustin can barely move, whatever. And Cody says that you don't get to retire here, not yet. And like, he has a match coming up against the Young Bucks, and he's going to have a partner of his choosing. And then he said, of course, the thing of the night. He says, I don't want a partner. I don't want a friend. I want my older brother. And just the way his voice cracked was the moment where these people snuck into my house and started cutting onions. I'm like, you know, I'm not crying, you're crying. You know, that was like, wow. It's like, I don't know, the way Cody broke, like he cracked, like he was crying too, like it was like, you know, damn, because, you know, they have a long history, they're brothers, all that good stuff. They both gave each other like a hell of a hug, and they left together, and it was awesome. And for me, it was also awesome because I love that Dustin gets to fight some more, because I know that when given the chance at his age, he can still go. So it'll be cool to see him with Cody against the Young Bucks, to see like Goldust, well, you know, Dustin just go at it and that'll be awesome. I can't wait for whatever they announce that match. That's going to be cool. But wow, what a match. And then they had another big surprise of the night, because who would have known? Bret the Hitman Hart came out to announce the AEW Championship, and that belt looked awesome. Of course, they have to be more shenanigans, so MJF came out, started taunting him. He made fun of the, you know how that random fan attacked Bret Hart during the Hall of Fame speech or whatever. He was like, hey, look out, Bret Hart, a fan! You know, like making fun of that. And then Jungle Boy and Jimmy Havoc showed up, and Hangman Page also showed up. They all showed up. They got rid of MJF, but that promo he cut sold a lot of people on how good of an arrogant heel he can be. That's pretty awesome. So it did help build up his credibility. But wow, who knew about the Hitman Hart? Now I didn't notice. Apparently, said the Hitman Hart fell off the stage or tripped down the stairs or like, you know, the little steps of the ring or something. I didn't catch that. I guess for the people watching it live, he fell and people are hoping he's okay. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that until after the fact. Like, holy shit, I have to rewatch that. But so then we had the Young Bucks against the Lucha Bros, and yes, another crazy spot fest. Apparently the Young Bucks went to Mexico and won the AAA titles from the Lucha Bros. So now the Lucha Bros are here to get them back. And yeah, I saw a little bit of AAA back in Mexico. I wasn't too impressed, but I guess they must have gotten better over the years. This is like a good 10 or so years ago, 10, 15 years. So, yeah. And, yeah, so this was like the AAA titles. That's something I never thought I would have heard of. But the AAA titles were on the line at this match. And I'm like, okay. And they had the extra little bit that the Young Bucks, I guess, you know, during the time that they left Ring of Honor and all this like behind the scenes build up of AEW, they haven't really wrestled in a good while, while the Lucha Bros are still wrestling day in, day out back in AAA, and I assume other promotions. So they had the extra little storyline there that the Young Bucks were kind of rusty, haven't done it in a while, a bit of ring rust, so they had that going against them. And yeah, during the match, that was kind of memorable a little bit. They kind of messed up. They kind of, you know, one would run and accidentally hit the other in the face or whatever. There was a time that one did a drop kick and accidentally like drop kick the other guy in the back and everything. So that was, of course, going against them. And the Lucha Bros would take like full advantage. And even though you thought that, all right, the Young Bucks are getting back into it, they would still like fuck up or slip or something. So that was kind of interesting. Now, the one thing that got kind of annoying, like I understand the thing. I understand that the Lucha Bros was the whole cero, miedo, you know, that's like their thing. But oh god, every fucking 5 minutes, that got old fast. Just cero, miedo, cero, like the whole time. And of course the audience ate it up, so I guess it wasn't like a big deal with them. They loved it. But for me, like, it got old. Like imagine if John Cena, the whole match, you can't see me, you can't, like the whole match, that would have gone fucking old too. Like every punch or kick or whatever he does, it would just be that. That would be fucking annoying too. So here, with the cero miedo, oh, by the way, cero miedo, like it got kind of annoying after a while. Now, I did like the Spanish swearing. I did like that. That was funny. Some good old school Spanish swearing. I'm not sure if I can repeat that here in YouTube. I don't know. Does Mexican swearing count under the YouTube terms of services? If some people don't even understand what I'm saying, I'd rather not chance it. But it was entertaining though. He said it to one of the Young Bucks face, and then of course the Young Bucks got him back. Now, the Young Bucks came out dressed up as Elvis to get the full, you know, the full Elvis spiel. That's pretty cool. I mean, the full Vegas spiel, because of course Elvis performed at the MGM Grand. And apparently at the Westgate Hotel too, which I assume the Westgate Hotel was better back then. And there was a cool moment where they both had the Lucha Bros down and synchronized like the sharpshooters, but the Lucha Bros got out of it. One of the Lucha Bros did some kind of move where I guess he like snapped the arm back like real bad, like oh god, it looked painful. So now one of the Young Bucks had a bad arm, and he managed to grab one of the Lucha Bros like with one arm. Because, I guess normally it would be like that. So one arm, while the other one jumped off and slammed him down. They call it the Meltzer Driver. And that basically won the match. And of course, because Young Bucks, a lot of super kicks here and there. Watch out, Jackknives. Here comes a super kick. But, yeah. So Young Bucks still won. They still retain the AAA titles. I assume the Lucha Bros still want them. So I guess there'll be a rematch or some other match, because how long can these guys protect the titles of some other organization within AEW, right? But yeah, that was a match. Pretty cool. This was a bit more memorable because we had the extra bonus of the Young Bucks being kind of rusty, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, pretty good match. So now we go to the main event, which is basically Alpha versus Omega 2, which I bought a shirt of it, by the way, whenever it gets here. And yeah, Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho. I love the intro. At the beginning, they had these other guys dressing up as different parts of Jericho's like previous gimmicks. Like, the lights went out, and you saw Jericho with the wild hair from his earlier days. Then the lights go out, comes back on. You see him with the list. You just made the list, you know. And lights go out, lights go back on. He's wearing the super expensive, like, lit-up jacket or whatever. And the lights go out, and the real Jericho comes on with his spiked-up jacket, his current gimmick in the indies. I like to think that the scarf is a reference to the scarf that he also would wear. And Omega would come out. This match I would like to call the Chris Jericho Omega versus a table match. The table was a deadly competitor. It was a good match here and there. Lots of good moves. Kenny Omega with the bead trigger, of course. Jericho actually tried to grab him into the Lion Tamer / Walls of Jericho. There was a moment where Jericho grabbed out a table and was going to use it, like outside the ring. I guess he was going to climb into the ring with it or whatever. And Kenny Omega saw it, so he ran and dove foot first and kicked that fucking table right back onto Jericho. Just plastered it with the table, and the table landed in a way that it crushed Jericho's arm. So now Jericho had a bad arm. It was pretty like messed up there. And I lost track, but somewhere during the match, Kenny Omega's nose was busted up and bleeding too, and the fight kept going, and shots to the face, like he didn't care. And despite the table being in that intense moment, like somehow the table survived. I don't know how you choreograph that. You have no control if the table breaks or not, but somehow the table was still sturdy enough for Kenny Omega to just set up. And then they went back to the ring and fought it out. The table was kind of forgotten about. But then Jericho grabbed Omega and slammed him out of the ring and into the table. And I was like, holy shit, that table's not fucking around. And damn. So, of course, in the end, the controversial finish where they kept hyping up during the match that, you know, Jericho's got a new finisher, the Judas effect. Oh my god, the Judas effect and all that shit. And in the end, the Judas effect was a spinning back elbow. And yeah, that was it. So they were fighting, just call him off guard, spinning double dragon, spinning back elbow, right in the face. And Kenny Omega is down. And, you know, 1, 2, 3, and Jericho won. And he's like the big heel that he thinks everyone owes him a big thank you for AEW and everything. And no one liked it. No one liked it. Even I didn't like hate it, but I was stuck with the wait, that was it? Like, first of all, the Juice effect, that was it. And second of all, that was it. The match ended there with that. That was the finish. I'm like, you know, okay. And like, I don't know. Like, the only defense I'm giving it is that Kenny Omega, you know, both of them actually were pretty beat up, pretty beat down. Kenny Omega was like worn out, wobbly legs, and I think that after all the damage he took and the broken nose and everything, a spinning elbow to the face would probably knock you out. But the thing is, I hope that Jericho doesn't use it too often. I hope that it doesn't have like those matches where it's like a 2-minute match. He does it, the guy's down. I don't know. But no one liked it. No one liked the elbow. No one liked it. The spinning double dragon elbow. No one liked it. But anyways, all of a sudden, near the very end, Jon Moxley shows up, aka Dean Ambrose. He shows up, and even Chris Jericho's mouthing, what are you doing here, you know, during all the crowds and stuff. And he attacks him with I guess the DDT. He's not called Dirty D's anymore. He attacks him with the DDT, and then the referee's confused. He attacks the referee with the DDT, and then Kenny Omega's still down, because of course he got the double dragon move to the face. Moxley acts like he's gonna help him up or whatever, and once he's up, DDT to him too. But then like Kenny Omega's not taking that shit sitting down. He tackles him down. They fight out of the ring. The ring just goes crazy. People like move out of the way and stuff as they're fighting and everything. It's just super crazy. And they had this display with the poker chips and stuff. They fought on top of the poker chip display and everything. And to top it off, Moxley picks up Omega and slams him down like on this, I guess, backstage floor thing. Just throws him off the structure, which is a pretty tall structure, by the way, and he just stands there posing, and everyone's like, holy shit, like, Dean Ambrose / Jon Moxley has come to AEW. And I'm like, wow. And he actually announced in interviews that he has a multi-year deal signed with them. He's going to be in New Japan Pro Wrestling as well. And of course, they announced a brand new Jon Moxley shirt with the AEW tag on the Pro Wrestling Tees site. So I'm like, holy shit. Alright guys, so in the end, overall, AEW was fucking awesome. Now yes, it was $50 to buy the event, but holy shit was it worth it. And I know I was kind of upset because I couldn't watch it on my TV, but once it actually started and the Bleacher Report actually, worked, it didn't freeze up or pause or whatever, I was just immersed. And of course, I knew some of the guys. I knew the Elite. I knew Kylie Ray. I knew Britt Baker and stuff like that from before. So it's kind of cool to see him perform. Ali was there. Ali was also known as Cherry Bomb, which I just seen Cherry Bomb just go at it with Rosemary. That was kind of cool at the previous Rise event. So she was just there. She's part of the roster. So I can't wait to see her actually fight. I guess she has an upcoming match against Brandy Rhodes. So we'll see how that goes. I can't wait for that one too. And damn, she was stunning in that dress. And, what else can I say? The tag matches, I don't want to, sound, bad, like they're not memorable. I mean, they are, but it's just so much shit happens at once. It's hard for me to remember hours after the fact. And they kind of blend together all the different spots. It's just spot after spot. It's pretty fast-paced, crazy action. It's hard to describe, but it doesn't mean that the matches are not good. It's just, I can't put it into words. You have to watch these matches yourself. They're pretty good. Now, I do want to say that these matches, though, are more intense than the tag matches in WWE. Just have some comparison. With WWE, almost every tag match is exactly the same, minus sometimes a New Day. They have to extra shenanigans, pancakes, and the saxophone, whatever, the trombone, whatever that thing is. But, here, in WWE, every tag match is basically the heel team isolates one of the guys and just keep beating the crap out of him for a good 10-15 minutes while keeping the other guy out of it. Eventually, the other guy gets in, blah, 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 and the team wins. It's just crazy at the end because sometimes the bad guys still win anyways. But most of the time, that's how every match goes. And honestly speaking, the very first time I saw a person crawl and do that diving tag, I thought that was pretty cool, okay? That was pretty cool. That was awesome. Wow, okay. But then every other match after that, almost every other match is the guy crawling over and doing a diving tag. It's not cool anymore. It's every match. And it's no matter which tag team does it. It's not something that oh, this tag team does that. No, they all do that. And that's whatever. But here, it's crazy spots. It's crazy action. All three tag team matches. There was three of them. The 6-woman tag. The SCU versus on the Strong Hearts, the Best Friends versus Angelico and Evans, and the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros. They all had different things, different spots, it was just different. And they also do a good job of trying to, whenever it's a pin, they do a better job trying to keep the other guys out of it to not break the pins. That was also kind of cool, kind of refreshing. But, yeah, it's pretty cool. Now, of course, it's not perfect. I'm not going to be blind and say, oh my god, it's perfect. It's the best show ever, whatever. I mean, it was pretty awesome, but, yeah, it's still there's a couple of things here and there. The commentary was kind of off. JR was kind of off his game. He was even misnaming wrestlers and misnaming moves, but I think this is probably the first time he's seen a lot of these guys. And honestly speaking, in the Battle Royale, a lot of the guys look pretty similar. With the wild crazy hair, Joey Janela did look a bit like Jungle Boy at times. It was hard for me to tell him apart. I didn't know him, so, And also JR, he's kind of up there in age. I think he's a permanent commentator, so I assume they're going to get better as they adjust, as this team of Alex and Excalibur and JR get used to each other. They'll probably bounce off each other well. The camera was kind of messed up at times. They have this weird pan-out shot where sometimes it would just pan out. It was just randomly pan super out. And sometimes it was why? Why during that? I don't get it. I think that the idea was to show off how packed the place was, but it was at such random times that, usually those pan-out shots are when nothing's really going on, when the guy is down and the heel's just walking around or something like that, but they do it during actual spots, and it was what the hell? And the worst offender of the whole thing was We barely got to see what the AEW belt looks like because the camera kept panning away. It's like, dude, the Hitman is holding up the belt. Why are you putting the camera away? And that's when you see the photos, a lot of photos of Hitman holding it up, it looks a little bit blurry because those are like the few seconds you can fucking pause it before the camera pans away or zooms out or some weird shit. I don't know what was going on. That was the worst one. There was a time where MJF was at the Battle Royale and he was still doing like, yeah, you see, this is how I'm going to be the champ, whatever. And then they just pan away in the middle of his smack talk. And then Jungle Boy had a lit cigarette in his face, and I guess they missed the moment when they were setting it up. So all of a sudden the camera just cuts to him having a cigarette in his face without knowing how it got there. And yeah, so they got to work on that. They got to work on where the camera's going and not do the random pan out shots and junk like that. But I mean, they'll get better. I assume they'll get better. But like I said, I can't blindly say the show's perfect. I like the 6-woman tag match, but some people felt it was filler. And also, I think some people complained a bit that there were too many tag team matches. But the thing is, since they're trying hard to really bring in tag teams, because come on, Vince McMahon does not like tag teams, is what I keep hearing. But here, they're trying to make tag team matches like the main event, and that's how you build credibility. And of course, as more matches go on, there'll be more and more singles matches. Because yeah, this event only had 2 singles matches, 3 if you count the pre-show, you know. But and of course, no one liked the Chris Jericho double dragging spinning elbow. No one liked it. Even I thought it was kind of like, I was still like, that was it. Like it was an interesting finish because Kenny Omega was already worn out, but just I don't know. So in the end, with everyone saying that, oh my God, oh yeah, that's another thing I always wanted to mention, that people kept wanting Moxley to be the guy in the Battle Royale. They wanted him to be the Joker of the event, and they were some people were actually disappointed that Hangman Page was the Joker instead of him. But I was like, guys, the event just started. Why put him here? You're gonna forget about it by the rest of the night, even after 5 hours or so later. And for me, it just worked so much better that he appeared at the very end, because that was like, holy shit. Now, the last thing I want to comment is the whole, oh, AEW's gonna bury WWE, WWE's gonna close its doors, everyone's gonna quit, blah, 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 But, yeah, I'm not that stupid, I'm not that insane. WWE, realistically speaking, is not going anywhere. As far as I can tell, tons of people complain about every episode of Raw, every episode of SmackDown. Each episode is the lowest rated episode ever, or each pay-per-view is the worst one ever. And even I complain whenever fucking Charlotte Flair wins over and over and over. No one likes Brock Lesnar wrestling twice a year, all that kind of stuff. But no matter what, people keep watching, people keep coming back, people, like, they threaten, I'm going to cancel the WWE Network. Oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. Or if you cancel it, you're gonna resubscribe later. And I'm honest, I canceled the network earlier because budget cuts and whatever. But sooner or later, depending on how good SummerSlam is or Survivor Series or something like that, I mean, I'll probably resubscribe. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna cancel the network and never see it again. I mean, I'm gonna probably resubscribe. I'll admit to that. But that's the thing. Like WWE is not going anywhere. The big hope is that AEW would do like what WCW and the NWO did back then, that they force WWE to step it up. Because, like, honestly speaking, it sounds bad, but not many people, the casual fan, does not watch Impact. It's on some weird channel. Like, I want to see Impact because Tessa Blanchard, damn it, and I can't because this is some weird-ass channel that no one has. Not many people watch Ring of Honor, and not many people watch New Japan Pro Wrestling unless you're like a hardcore wrestling fan. And I never even heard of Dragon Gate or WrestleGate Pro before this event started, or OWA. I never heard of any of these companies before this whole thing started. But, and come on, not many people watch Rise Women's Wrestling like I do. But, yeah, so for most people, WWE is what you think about when you think about wrestling. That's what you think about. That's what so many people associate with. And most people, even though Kenny Omega is like the biggest, like the best wrestler out there, most people don't know who the fuck he is. And they know, John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, but they don't know who the fuck Kenny Omega is and whatever, until whenever he finally, if he ever, well, I mean, he's not going to go to WWE, but you know what I mean. Like until he makes an appearance there, no one's going to know who he is.
And that's kind of like AJ Styles. I think it was probably popular with TNA, but more people know him now because he's in WWE and stuff like that. But the bottom line is, I hope that AEW forces WWE to step it up, because WWE's been pretty sucky lately. But it's pretty sucky because they're the only show in town, and if you don't like it, well, fuck you, you know. If you want to watch wrestling, you have to watch us. We're the only ones out there. You got no choice or whatever. And now that we got AEW on TNT later this year, now we do have a choice. Now we do have a choice that, you know what, I'm going to skip Raw. I'm going to watch AEW instead or whatever. So now is the time for them to step it up. Apparently, Sasha Banks, Matt Hardy, and I forgot who else, like Heath Slater, well, that's career suicide. A lot of these people commented, they tweeted during the match, so time will tell, of course, how Vince McMahon is going to feel about that, if he may punish them. I'm actually curious to see Raw, if they're going to make any comments, if they're going to say All In or Double or Nothing. I remember when All In was out last, 2 years ago, whatever, and they were like doing the Women's Evolution pay-per-view. Stephanie tweeted something like all the women are all in for WWE Revolution. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do a little something like that. They'll probably acknowledge it some way or another. And there's probably going to be fans in the crowd chanting AEW, AEW, and stuff like that to cause, pandemonium or whatever. But we'll see how it goes. But again, like I'm saying, I really don't think AEW is a WWE killer. WWE kind of fucks itself up as is, but people are still watching. No matter what happens, people are still watching. As long as people love John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, even though these guys are not even with the company anymore, people still have the fond memories. They still tune in to see when's the next time The Rock makes a random cameo appearance or whatever, And of course, people, they still like Randy Orton and AJ Styles and whoever else, the Usos, the New Day, all that. Like, there's always people that like them and stuff, and they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. If after all this shit they've done, and yet we're still watching. I admit I was still watching and everything. They're not going anywhere, but we do hope that AEW forces them to step it up, because something's got to happen. Like, they can't keep going with the low ratings. They got to, improve the product and make it more badass or whatever, but we'll see how it goes. So anyways, guys, it's Mark Rodriguez here. You've been watching Mark's Out Wrestling Aftershock reviews, where, yes, with AEW and all this crazy stuff coming up, a potential AEW versus WWE war that may or may not be coming up, all I can say is with all this wrestling, it is still real to me. See you next time.